network engineer and process solution. Like they help me to complete this project. And my internship take around 2 months from 9 August to 9 October. And now let's take our journey to my project Cloud Management IT. Cloud Management IT, it is a centralized management service that allows users to deploy, monitor, and configuration in a single and secure platform. And once the configuration change, it sent to the cloud and then pushed to network device. And so what is the problem before cloud management service? And the problem is network engineer need to configure locally or remote. And sometimes they can't remember the username and password well, so they will ask each other. And when they need to do the configuration, they need to log in one by one. And for cloud management service, we have all it in the dashboard that we can remote on the internet and no need to ask other for username password because all of us have our email and password. And also all device is can config in the dashboard. And so this is the problem and solution. And for objective of my project, I want to secure all of my device from bad domain from being attacked by attacker. And I also want to monitor my user endpoint activity from what they are doing and what they are viewing in the internet. And I also want to detect the temperature environment in my server room. And here is my planning. In the 8 weeks, I have learned about new technology, study and design infrastructure, configuration, network, and integration, and also implement and testing in the last 2 weeks. And so, what is the requirement for my project? The requirement is it requires to have a multi password because I use a multi device network, so it needs to configure in the cloud. So I need an account to configure it. I want to avoid my user endpoint from bad domain, so I need to integrate with Cisco umbrella. And also want to review my endpoint device activity. And for non-functional requirement, I need a slash page like to show my user when they connect to my network. So like send a message like welcome to my network. And also block page. I want to send a message to user when they review some bad domain like sorry, you cannot view this domain because this is a bad domain, like that. And for operation, I use is Windows and tool, Google Chrome and Wireside. And for hardware, we have one desktop, one router, one set point, and two sensor, water detector, and temperature measurer. And for technology, I use is Wi-Fi 6, the next generation of standard Wi-Fi that used for IoT device, sensor, and satellite firewall to detect my data packet and where it is going and where it comes from. MIMO, multiple input and multiple output. It can send more data at the same time by using multiple transmitter and receiver. And beamforming, it allow sending direct signal to endpoint device. And here is my multi workflow. If a user want to go to internet, they need to access to the access ID by name, and then follow the firewall rule. And for Umbrella workflow, if a user needs to go into a URL, they need to request to Umbrella first to check the IP address, domain name, if it is a good domain or bad. If it is a good domain, Umbrella will allow user to access to that IP address. And for sensor, if sensor in the range of Wi-Fi and it detects something abnormal in the server room environment, it will send a message alert to the network administrator. And here is the design of my network infrastructure. I have one ISP, one router, one access point to send signal to my endpoint device, like laptop, sensor, or desktop mobile phone. Here is my visual architect. If a user want to go into the internet, they need to access Wi-Fi by access the password, and they need to cross the firewall to follow the IP policy, and also to follow the policy of DNS layer security to check domain. If it is a good domain, user is able to access into the internet. And for sensor, sensor need to in the range of Wi-Fi, and then detect the temperature like environment and or water leak. And if it detects something abnormal, it will send the alert to admin. And here is my implementation. I have some implementation about access control. I have two SSID, AP block device and AP umbrella. For AP block device, I allow user to enter the password before they connect into my network. And then I also block network window type device in the AP block device. And for AP umbrella, I integrate with Cisco Umbrella, and also I set the bandwidth to 25 MB. And by integrate with Cisco Umbrella, I able to view my network device in here, identity effect, and in Cisco Umbrella, it also includes some firewall feature like security setting to avoid from malware, phishing attack, and also content setting like social media, and also application setting like YouTube also. And here is my sensor profile. I set the temperature from 30 to 35, and humidity 55 and to 56, and alert sensor to alert me every day if it detects something abnormal. And here is the monitoring of endpoint device. In Meraki dashboard, it also includes some monitoring feature like traffic analysis to view application and the time usage that user use. And even like the HCP list time drop or wireless connection drop, or sometimes integrating with radio server. And here is achievement when I taking my internship in process solution. I have done some work and to complete like design the network infrastructure successful in integrate with Cisco Umbrella, and have some basic with network monitoring. And I have also complete some work like mounting camera, go to site with senior, and be some lab for senior also. And for difficulty in this internship, I didn't complete Raja server because I forgot to complete the firewall in Windows server. and the experience I gained from thinking in something like problem solving, teamwork, technical skill, work environment, and time management. And let's see the part of demonstration. I have some video tools, saw and picture. Like from here, I do the implement of my network. I have two AP plug device and AP umbrella. For AP plug device, I plug the window type from my network. And AP umbrella, I just input the password. And okay, sometimes click through the Slack page when they to welcome them when they enter the correct password of my SSID. And for firewall, in AP product device, I brought the application gaming type and also brought a URL pirate link and also set the bandwidth of traffic setting rule. And for AP umbrella, I integrate with Cisco umbrella by enter the API key in my network. And also video number 2, Cisco umbrella. And for here, I have a identity network device 1 and to avoid some malware and block some content and application. And also Cisco umbrella allows also have a feature like policy tester to test the bad domain link. From here, I enter my network device and then test a bad domain from Facebook right here. And it will appear the message like destination was blocked. Go to the security setting. Okay, let's look at my testing. From here, I enter my AP port device SSID. And then I enter the password. And then it will appear a Slack page like this network administrator have prevent you from using the network because I brought my window type device from my network. So my testing about my AP umbrella. Yes, I testing about application gaming. You see that when I connect to normal SSID, I can log into my game application right here. Okay, when I switch to AP umbrella, it will appear as blank link. It appear a blank link because my SSID has already blocked game application from my in my network, and this blank link it doesn't mean that the internet is not working. It blank link because the game application was blocked. Okay, let's see about the implement and testing in sensor because the device have already brought to the client, so I can only show some picture for my sensor. Here I need to check the device online first, and then I configure setting the temperature and humidity from 30 to 35, 55 to 56 for easy for testing, and then enter mail to let it send the alert to. And here this is the alert. Sensor is no longer alerting at 50 swan, 50 swan humidity because it already dropped to to the normal setting temperature, so it will no longer alert. And this is the end of my presentation. And here is the reference. I have it umbrella document, murky document. And if you have any question you don't understand, you can ask me. And here is the end of my presentation. Thank you for paying my attention.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Um, maybe I can ask some questions first. So I never been using this in it's called Cisco Umbrella. Okay, it's a cloud based technology. So I see that your wait, let me find that. Yeah, okay. So you mentioned that you use this kind of hardware, so it includes a router, right? So what
Uh,
what uh, what what router, what kind of model that you use in this?
for router, I also using Meraki family, Meraki MX. And because
Uh,
that's already brought to the customer, so for testing, I didn't use it in the slide presentation. But in my project, what I use in the router is just apply the group policy in the router and then config some VLAN on it, teacher.
okay. How about access point?
Access point, just use it to get the IP from router and then share it with wireless local area network.
Yeah, yeah. But what model of what kind of device that you use? Is it TP-Link or something? What is it?
All of it are Meraki, teacher.
Oh,
For router, I use Meraki MX, access point Meraki MO, and sensor Meraki MT.
so all Meraki device. I see.
Yes, because I use it for cloud management IT, so I use the cloud network device.
So so you get to use a real device
Yes, teacher.
in your experiment. Okay. Okay. Let me ask uh, this this diagram. What is access URL here? What do you mean by access URL?
Uh,
And
I
why?
mean,
What do you test in this condition?
uh, what I mean by access URL, it means I enter like I want to go to a website, so it need to pass the Meraki firewall first. If I like in the Meraki firewall, I brought social network content. So when I go to the social network link, so I cannot access to that link because it already blocked. And after if the firewall didn't block that IP address, so it will cross to Cisco Umbrella DNS layer security. And then DNS layer security, it will check its policies first, like security setting, content category, or application. And if it already analyze it and follow the firewall rule, and then user is able to access to that IP address.
Okay, so the first test is some kind of blacklist or blacklist of website or something.
Yes, teacher.
So that means you do in this case you test 2 times, right? What
Yes.
was checking the man? What do you check the man?
For analyze check domain, it's like by integrate with Cisco umbrella. When user is access to IP address, it will across that Cisco umbrella first. If we use API of umbrella, it means like we use umbrella DNS. So in that DNS, it has a service like checking the domain and back domain. Like if it is a codomain, it will allow user to access to that IP address. If
Okay.
back,
So what are the conditions of the domain to be a good or bad?
In that condition, in Cisco umbrella, it already have a record like it divided into 3 categories. Like codomain, it will have a list. By domain have a list and unknown domain. And for unknown domain, if a user access to unknown IP, so Cisco umbrella will not analyze it if it is a good domain or bad domain. And then Cisco umbrella will take time to analyze that domain first before allow user to access to that IP address.
Okay. So it has a list, its own list of bad domain and good domain.
Yes, teacher.
It's okay. I see. Okay. So I don't think I have more questions. Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you for your answer.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
If there are any lecturer want to ask, please ask.
Okay, I have something. I have some questions. Actually, I don't have the knowledge on configuring those devices, but I just want to know when you go for your intern, all of this structure or architecture. You said you spent 2 weeks for study and design in staff structure. When you go to the company, you start designing the network by yourself, or they already have the network.
Teacher, because I just go to the intern, so this project is I just do it for my own, and for company project, I just helping the senior to like to pre-config some small part, and then they do it themselves. And for this project, I just learn little by little, and then combine them together to complete this project.
Okay. In the domain part, so we have the condition like Ruby say ask you. We have condition to detect the good and bad domain, but because they already have existing list of the good and bad domain, but how do you deal with the new domain? Actually, every day there are many hosting domain names that it could be good or bad. How do you deal with it?
For here, for what if I know that domain, if I get domain, I can config in the like global destination. So it will allow all the destination that I allow that I allow it to. And for the unknown IP address, so for secure umbrella, it will block user first to and then bring that IP address to at least, and then they will analyze it themselves. For how they analyze it, I'm not sure about it, teacher.
Okay. At least you know that there's some place to custom to domain name, right? Like in the
Yes.
list you can add or you can remove.
Yes.
Okay, and another question is that actually in the same network there are many host devices, and maybe for some group you assign them with different policies. Maybe in some network you assign with some block domain name, and some group you allow them all, or some other group you allow some specific domain names. Can you, in this configuration or in this in your network, can you design that way, like you have different specific groups, this specific network, and you apply different policy and rule for the checking domain name?
Teacher, can you answer that? I'm not quite sure.
Okay, for example, for the employee, they cannot access some website or some domain name. It depends on your policy. But like in your manager network, they can access more domain name, or they can access everything like on the network.
Yes.
But is it possible for you to configure that?
Yeah, teacher. It's possible for me to configure. First, for if I can do the larger server, I can allow like some user to access to all domain, and some group of user to block some domain. And for here, for what I think, if I have a router, I can do that. Wait, let me think first. Yeah, I get it. First, I need to configuration on VLAN, and then block on user block user from like some domain don't allow user to across the IP address. And for manager, if I want him to can access to all IP address, I can create a group policy and then apply it into in individual apply it to direct user. I can do that, teacher.
Okay. You said you do it in the router or in which device?
For here, for router, I didn't test a lot, but for AP, I have tested a lot of it. So I can apply the group policy into the direct user. So I test it on access point.
You tried it before, right?
Yes, teacher, I tried it.
Okay. Okay, that's all for my question.
Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
you.
Yes. Okay, all right. Thank you, Tika, for your presentation. Yeah, I think you have done a great job at the process solution. For me, I don't really have a question because I already his supervisor. Yeah. Okay, so thank you to the first presenter, and can we move to the second presenter, please?
Okay, the next presenter is Samsawan Suki. Okay.
Before going to presentation my topic, I would like to pay my high respect for all teachers in the Department of the Information and Communication. Today it's my honor to presentation my topic talking about the Sniffing on the firewall intrusion detection system on the FortiGate firewall. As you can see, here is my agenda for my presentation. One is about the introduction, second one about analysis, third one about implementation, fourth about conclusion, and the fifth one about the demonstration. For the first one is introduction on the guideline of my presentation or general presentation about my place of internship. So for my internship, I interned in the network field and I interned in the Department of Communication, Information and Communication. And my supervisor as well as my academic advisor, Mr. Yuandi, he's my supervisor and also my academic advisor for leading me on the topic research and also manage on this topic research. From my internship, starting from the August 23 to October 11, 2021. So for the definition of my presentation topic research is about the what is intrusion detection system? The intrusion detection system is a device, a software application that we monitor or manage on the network for the malicious activity or also the policies of the violation of the network. For the initial state is the state that I proposed or also discussed with my supervisor and also my advisor on the network infrastructure. Therefore, my academic advisor, he's agree on that. Therefore, in the home network, I use one internet service provider, one FortiGate firewall device, and also one switch, and also the two PCs. For the problem statement about this topic, we want to understand how the FortiGate firewall works on the detection of the threat and also intrusion, and also understand about the data packet detection, also the analyze on the threat in the network. So for the objective, the one is about the design and also the config on the home network, also set and configure on the FortiGate firewall, also the monitor and manage after we configure on the service as well as the firewall, and also capture analyzing the data packet from the inside to the outside and from the outside to the inside. So for this topic research, we're planning only 8 weeks. From the first to the third week is about the study of the requirement. Also from the fourth week to the fifth week is about the study and analyze on the infrastructure. Also from the week 6 to week 8 is about the configuration and also implementation and deploy. For the analysis or the function requirement. Function requirement, there are a provision system which is understand about the service, what are we going to use, like DHCP, DNS, also the NAS server, and also for the design and modify the infrastructure, we want to understand how can we design home network, also to understand the place that we use for placing the firewall, and also the configuration service that are required after we list on the provision system. We also configure all the system that we are released in the provision system. Also, we monitor the service and capture the packet when we are the configuration of those service. And for the non-function requirement, I use the A packet in external supporter in order to analyze and view the data report of the packet capture in order to define the intrusion, also to manage on the network. For the technology that we use, I use the visualization because I hardly to interact with the real physical device as well as it is the COVID season. Therefore, I use the visualization to understand and analyze about the intrusion detection system. And for another one, it's about the packet sniffing and packet capture. Those two technology are similar together, but packet sniffing, they specific on the policy, but for the packet capture, we capture all the information of the data packet. And also we use the firewall technology as well of the FortiGate firewall. For the third one is about operation system that we use. For operation system that I use Windows 7 Ultimate for the client, FortiGate OS for the firewall, and also EVE and G server for working library environment that is used Ubuntu server Linux. For the application system that I use the web workstation as the host for the EVE and for the Wireshark that is associated with the FortiGate firewall in order to capture the data packet, and also the putties for remote the PC and also remote the switch and also FortiGate, and also with ICP will transfer the image file that working like a real device into the visual of EVE and also Ultra VNC for another visual GUI of the client, and also Microsoft Edge for accessing the URL of FortiGate management. And here is a physical architecture that I have mentioned you in the initial step. It have a net, FortiGate firewall, and also one switch and two PC client. For here, you can see that the net doesn't have from the net to the FortiGate, they didn't have a router because the VMware of a way of net edge working like a service provider that get the internet from my Wi-Fi into the EVE like a real router to access and provide internet to the FortiGate. And here is a current diagram to understand what or how the intrusion detection system using packet capture in the FortiGate work. From here, we can see the data packet they send from the net into the network has to under management of the firewall of the FortiGate firewall, and also when they access to the FortiGate firewall will be use the packet capture or sniffing in order to record and analyze, monitor all those data packets and record into the Wireshark file. Then the data packet will be sent to the switch will be provide the data file to which client to receive. Here is the implementation on the installation of EVE working like your environment client, also the installation of the FortiGate firewall that we install the static route as well as set IP address for the FortiGate firewall to access the internet, and also configuration of the ACP to provide the automatic IP address for the client PC. After we already configuration on the service already, we are going to use the packet capture. Once the packet capture already captured the data, they will be sent to the Wireshark file. Then we can be analyze those data packet that coming from the outside to the inside and from the inside to the outside. After that, we can use the record file sending to the A packet. A packet will be use the better GUI to understand and analyze about the network map, also DNS map, and also to locate those the DNS and also the network. Here I also configuration on the packet sniffing that I use the comment, which they are specific only ICMP or TCP like that. In the conclusion, for the topic of research, I have completed on the installation of the EVE as well as FortiGate firewall in order to provide the service, internet service, as well as the FortiGate firewall managed on this internet service, and also already set the DHCP, DNS, and also NAT server in order to provide the service and also to manage on the client network, and also install the packet capture and also Wireshark, which they will associate with with the FortiGate firewall. Once we install it and configure on the FortiGate firewall, they will have a Wireshark inside the FortiGate firewall. And also I already test and configure on the packet sniffer, how the packet sniffer works, also to analyze between the packet capture and also packet sniffer in order to detect malware as well as the malicious activity. But for the incomplete work, it's about the unable to configure on the one and sniffer is also the IDS feature of the FortiGate firewall as well, but it requires payment license. I use a free license, therefore it's hard and also unable to configure on the one and sniffer. So strong point of the topic research, I can understand more about the network management and also understand how the firewall feature work as well as the data packet capture. Also, I can understand about the threat that detect by using by the FortiGate firewall and also the analyze of the data packet as well as capable on my self-learning. For the big point, I like on the network management because it's my first internship and also it's hardly to find some document about the FortiGate firewall and also it's not a reconfiguration because I use the visualization. For the physical device, there will be more complicated than visualization. And also I like on the communication with my supervisor and academic advisor. I use Telegram or Messenger to manage to communicate with my supervisor and my academic advisor. And for the FortiGate firewall, I also have a problem with the license because I use free license. It has a limitation on some feature. On experience, I can get more experience from the my topic research as well as it's for the first step. It will be another second step of the internship or year 5. Therefore, it's provide me more experience on the internship. Also, I can get more and more knowledge on the time management, on configuration, also to manage, get a report, submit on time, and also got understand about the problem solving of the technology, and also get more about the technical skill on the configuration and providing the network service. From the perspective, I wish that I can get more and more understand about the network security and also network administration, also more knowledge about the Wireshark, because Wireshark have a wide range knowledge about using those using that application, and also I understand about I want to understand more on the DHCP and DNS server for the network. So here is my demonstration on the topic research. Thank you. As you can see here, I open my EVE visual machine in order to access to my interface of EVE-NG. Then I need to log into my lab, and here you can see it's a physical architecture. Now I'm allowing to start the switch and also the PC. As you can see, here is my FortiGate network of the device that you are fire. You can see here, I log into my FortiGate firewall and I show the interface and I config in this FortiGate firewall. As you can see here is a port 1 for allowing from the net to the firewall and from the firewall to the switch. Now I'm going to access to the FortiGate firewall. So here I'm logged into my FortiGate management or FortiGate OS. So here's my configuration already on the LAN from the WAN. It's support 1 from the NAT to the firewall, and from the LAN it's from the firewall to the switch. And here I allow the access to the internet. when I use the packet capture, that will be capture all the packet that access to the internet of the client from the client one, the capturing. So we'll download the packet right now. So from right here, after we download those packet capture, we going to put the Wireshark file into this packet for analyze. And they will be show the graphic user interface for us to understand like the map here, like from the IP address here is from our IP address PC or client to the DNS server, and here is to access to the we are access to the Firefox website, as we can see here, to the DNS of the Firefox, as well as the Google management. And also here we can see the HTTP that it used, also the understand the each of the protocol, also the user from the port, as well from our port or from the our network. Also the list of the post and get, like from the Firefox to the our net for the traffic network that came from the our network or client network to the outside here. So right now I would like to end my presentation on my this is Sniffing, and thank you for your paying attention, listen to my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Maybe I will start a question again. So yeah, that's something I don't quite understand yet. Let me find the slide. Okay, so your objective is to capture and analyze the packet from where actually?
Yes, teacher, thank you, teacher, for the question. For the C, I will be captured from the client PC that access to from the port 2. As I mentioned in the packet capture, I set the config or set up the packet capture from the port 2 only.
Okay. So the client here are in the local network, right?
Yes, teacher, it's a local network.
Not from the outside, not from the traffic. So you don't capture and analyze the packet coming from the outside of the network.
Yes, teacher. Actually, when the packet sent from the net, they will access to the port 1. But then when they access to the port 2, the port 2 will be capture the data packet, as well as when the data packet communicate with our local network, they also capture in port 2 the configuration of the packet capture as well in the port 2. So in the port 1, I did set the packet capture because the port 2 already captured those data packet from the outside to the inside and from the inside to the outside.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
So wait, let me check. What kind of software did you use to capture the packet capture?
Yes, teacher, for the packet capture, as I mentioned in my presentation, I use the Wireshark packet capture because in the FortiGate firewall, when I install the configuration as well as the FortiGate OS management, they already have the Wireshark inside the FortiGate firewall. Therefore, for the packet capture, when we capture the data packet from from the network traffic, that will capture directly and sell directly to the Wireshark for analyze the data packet.
So from what I can see, how you capture it, it's like you have to download it one at a time,
Yes.
or is it real time?
Thank you, teacher, for question. For here, it has a limitation for the packet capture because um, some function of the FortiGate firewall they have a limitation as well as they have a lot of wiring feature. Therefore, it need to be set the limit of the packet that they capture in order to provide some other function of the FortiGate firewall work. So in here maybe well, not maybe, but we have to download each one and then start another one.
But does it capture all the packet already and you just download it, or it capture the packet when you tell it to capture, or something else?
Just for this, maybe I need to click on the download, then I will start another one. It's not like your automatic or like your signature based.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
So that means it capture packet only when you click it, right?
Yes, sure. Yes, but also it has for like your forward traffic as well as the sniffing traffic. Like I already mentioned about the one arm sniffing. It's also the data packet capture as well for the IDS, but it require another one PC in order to manage on the port of the sniffing, and also it's a pet license, so I cannot buy or
So
implement
you
that.
haven't implemented the packet sniffing.
Yes, teacher. For the one arm sniffing, I try to configure on that too, but it sometimes it got error because of the license requirement.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell me what the packet sniffing works for?
Yes, teacher. For the packet sniffing, they work like they intercept the data packet similar to the packet capture as well. But in here, if we use one-arm sniffing, they require another hardware in order to capture the traffic network. But for another one is about the command that we use in the FortiGate firewall. When we use like the command for capturing the or the sniffing on interface as well as port or any policy that they have. They say they have like six policy for sniffing. Like if you want to sniff on the ICMP, you need to write a command like the sniffer packet on port one ICMP any like that, teacher, in order to capture the ICMP only.
Okay. So can you tell me why you choose these two, not some other software?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. As I have already studied about the EVE-NG as well as some basic knowledge about the FortiGate firewall in the year four semester two with teacher Ritre. He teach on using the EVE-NG as well as the FortiGate firewall, some basic of configuration on the FortiGate firewall. So I choose on that software. I also want to use the Buffalo firewall as well, but I it needs a lot of requirement and understand on that firewall. So I choose the FortiGate because I have some basic knowledge already.
No, how about packet sniffing and packet, the WhatsApp packet capture? Why did you choose it? Are there some other software for the capturing packet?
Thank you, teacher. For the software, we can use signature based in a FortiGate firewall. They also have a signature based as well, but it's a paid license. And we can use the SNOR policy or SNOR IDS in order to capture and also to alert to the administrator, and also we can use another system or another technology like automatic machine learning on the IDS as well. But it's that kind of big that project is too big for my topic.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll continue to maybe improve this packet capture management using some kind of other software like real-time monitoring and using some algorithm to analyze the packet.
Yes, teacher. From here is from the first step that I have
Okay.
enter for this firewall as well as for the network field. So there are a lot of more technology as well as the system for the capture the data packet as well as for the detecting the intrusion on the network. Yes.
Okay, but maybe one last question. Can you tell me what kind of data of the packet data, or some kind, what are we looking for in the data packet? In order to analyze whether it is bad or good.
Thank you, teacher, for the question. For it's a valuable question for me. I think that this here the data packet. If we use packet capture, that will capture all the policy as well as the protocol of the data packet like ICMP, TCP, UDP, and also if they capture one packet that they say it's malicious or any DDoS or any attack, any from the attacker, they will be sent like who has the IP address and want to is ping from that IP address to into our network. So in here we can capture that okay that IP address or DNS is about to attack or want to like capture or is an intrusion into our network like that.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the answer.
Thank you, teacher.
This is the end of my question. If other lecturer want to ask, please ask.
Okay, I have some. What I said, I'm not so familiar with this field, but as I can see, your network is connected from the internet and pass through the FortiGate firewall and then go to the local network. I think we in our class we have learned a lot about the configuration on the LAN. Maybe I know that you know a lot about in your slide you have learned about how to configure TCP or DNS or protocol, something like that. But actually we have learned a lot about that. But what I want to know is about the FortiGate firewall. You basically you work on how to analyze the packets, and You said that basically when the package sent from the internet or sent to the internet, they will analyze, and you said like they will analyze based on the protocol. Maybe they have different protocol, like TCP or UDP, something like that. But do they really analyze like the packet data in the network? Like maybe sometimes the attacker they try to attack based on the data in the package, something like that.
Yes, thank you, teacher, for the valuable question. From here, it is the IDS. So in no matter what how we detect or we can capture the data, still sometimes the client PC or client network they still got attack on the those data packet because sometimes client they didn't understand about the what is the IDS as well as what is packet. They just only access for the network. So as we here we as a network administrator, we have to matter no matter how we capture those data, we need to analyze those data in order to find any like any ridiculous or any like destination that is like suspicious or source from the those data packet. They when we capture they has like suspicious on the those data packet. We will be blocked on that. We will use the another one function that is called IPS to prevent those IP address as well as from the attacker. In here the data we will capture but they not there to analyze for the firewall, especially on the Wireshark.
Hmm. And have you encountered any threat in your network during your intensive? Like, do you test or did you met how you met any threat? Like maybe they're dangerous or something. Did you try to test on your network or you encounter it accidentally?
Thanks to teacher for the question. From here, I also like want to add one more PC for or connect to the net in order to make it like attacker. They want to access by they capture on our net like using the net cap on they want to capture our IP address, but it's my hardware computer hardware they cannot handle on that. So in for this maybe I haven't encountered any yet of the any attack, but in the future I will be try on the testing from the attacker into the network.
Okay, by the way, do you in the conclusion and the strong point you said you know a lot about the threats of the firewall. What kind of threat do you know?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. From here, the threat that they can access send it to our client like malware, especially nowadays they have a lot of malware virus, and in Cambodia they yet to understand about the what are malware, what are the virus, what are computer and ransomware. As you can see, some in this nowadays they use a lot of ransomware attack on the our Cambodia network as well. So those are the threats for our network. And those for the network provider, service provider, as well as network administrator need to understand and also to prevent those malware and also some DDoS attack like 4 or 5 years ago on the attack from the anonymous into the into yes in I think like 2017 like the attacker attacked to the um, Ministry of Police like that. So in here I want to understand how the state access into the network as well as if we use the FortiGate firewall and IDS as well as the IPS, they can prevent those threat or not or attack or not. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, good. But you use the FortiGate firewall, and actually we implement this network based on this firewall and the policy of the firewall, and they detect the threat or the virus. But can you give me one solution when they have new virus? How do you deal with it when they have when your network encounter the new virus, new version or something like that? What do you how to do with it?
Yes, teacher, thank you for the question. If here that we knew that our network or any of our client have encounter with the virus, we need to take the action immediately on the, especially on the data packet, analyze, capture and analyze on on the client, and try to find the what the IP address of that data packet sent from into the our network, and analyze the destination as well as source, like they use malware or they use ransomware that going to give the virus into our PC client. And if it is critical or it's into the emergency, we will be uh, down the we need to close our network switch in order to prevent for any further attack like that.
Yeah, but sometimes you can distinguish which IP or which source or destination that is the threat, but sometimes it's difficult to know that, to recognize that. But I think what we can do is basically is to make your software or your firmware up to that, because sometimes it could be a lot of problems if we don't have enough knowledge or about the virus, how it works, because they work so many different ways.
Yes,
Okay, that's all for my question, and
thank you,
thank you for
teacher.
this.
All right. So thank you, Suki, for your presentation. Yeah,
Thank you,
actually,
teacher.
I think you did a really great job during the internship. Even though there is not enough hardware for testing, but you can try to find the software to find the visualization techniques in order to build up all this and try to do research by yourself. Yeah, I really appreciate for your work. Yeah. So
Thank
thank
you,
you.
teacher. Yes, thank you, teacher.
And okay, let us move to the third presenter.
Yeah, the next presenter is Nasomalika.
Hello, teachers, and hello, all my classmates. My name is Nasa Malika, and today I'm going to do a short presentation about install and manage Visual Private Network. During internship for 2 months at Total Energy, and my supervisor is teacher Yu Wendy, and my company advisor is Mr. Jim Jit. Please enjoy my presentation. So let's go to the contents. I have 6 content as you see on the slide. The introduction, project overview, analysis and design, implementation, conclusion, and demonstration. So let's go into the introduction. As you can see, the logo of the company is Total Energy, is affiliated of Total Group as a fourth largest oil and gas company with more than $171 billion in revenue and more than 100,000 employees in more than 130 countries. Total Energy has been involved in marketing various petroleum products with a service and its customer with both private and public sector. In the organization, we need to build network infrastructure to support of the employee. So it make business processing much more better by using Visual Private Network. and from the local area and international level, and it's perform a great job and it's secure, and it's also a hot topic in networking because they provide low cost and secure communication while improving productivity by extending cooperation networks to the remote locations. So let's move to the next slide. We're talking about project overview. In this point, I have three main points about the problems, visual private network, and the objectives. Problems. We had these common problems inside the working space because we need to support the user to working from home and also define and control the connection secure and the long distance with unsecure network. For some of them has the technology equipment that cannot easy to move. To the next part, visual private network. Visual private network connection established to actual connection between you and the internet. With a visual private network, all the data traffic is routed through the encrypted visual channel. And this gives your IP address when you use the internet, making its location invisible to everyone. A visual private network connection is also secure against the external attacks. So after that, we can use this technology to protect our private network. So problem solved. After we see about the importance of a private network, so we can solve this whole problem for the employees, and we can install the package for the solution that can run the integrated with the network operating system. Let's move to the part 3, analysis and design. We have 3 points, are planning, visual architecture, and sequence diagram. As you can see the below diagram is the planning project that I have been doing for 2 months total energy. Let's move to the next part in visual architecture. A virtual private network is a set of technology which are used to link computers to create private network. Another network is used to carry the data which is encrypted. And the serial network will see the packets of data used in routes. To the user of the virtual private network, it will look like the computer were directly connected to each other, as you can see in this picture. Moves to the sequence diagram. As you can see in this diagram, show that site-to-site VPN is a type of VPN that used between two separate locations. It provides the ability to connect geographical separate locations. A Windows server can be connected to a local computer by using behind a private network in a remote office. Continue with part 4, implementation. I'm going to talk about 3 points about technologies, project structure, and project configuration. Technology. As you can see, the 5 point below is the technology I'm using with firewall, encryption, tunneling, authentication, and IP security. I will be detailed for this technology in the next part. For the first part is firewall. What is firewall? A firewall is a network security device that monitors and filters incoming and outgoing network traffic based on an organization previously established security policy. In its basic, a firewall is essentially a barrier that sits between a private internal network and the public internet. A firewall main purpose is to allow a non-threatening traffic in and to keep the dangerous traffic out. For the second technology is encryption. Encryption is means of securing data by encoding it mathematically such it can be only be read or decrypted by those who with the correct key. The digital encryption processes translate data using the algorithm that makes the original information unreadable except for the authorized users. Encryption, a crucial digital connected world to keep private information, messages, and financial transactions private and secure. It's a very important way for individuals and companies to protect sensitive information from hacking. Let's move to the third technology, tunneling. Tunneling is a process of encrypting data and keeping it separately from other traffic on the internet. It's able to protect the data remains secret and integrity of messages that they travel over the public network. The term of Visual Private Network Channeling describes a process whereby data is securely transported from one device or network to another through the non-secure environment, such as the internet, without compromising privacy. Channeling involves protecting data by repacking it into the different form. As you can see on the picture, that it's such a way that can let the VPN server across into the VPN client by channeling and keep the data transmission safe. The fourth technology is authentication. Authentication is used to prove that the user or entity is allowed access, so provide a form of the self-control. By using a pre-share key to organizations that want to set up a VPN channel between each other would be configured and share the same key in their VPN device to be able to authenticate to each other. A pre-share key, by the way, is like a password made up of multiple random characters that will be shared between the parties who are creating a virtual private network channel between a virtual private device, and more complex and no longer key is the more secure. For the last technology is IP security. IP security is a group of protocols that use together to set up encrypted connection between devices. It works at the network layer of open system interconnection model and is a framework consisting of protocol and algorithm for protecting data through an untrusted network such as internet. It provides data security in various ways such as encrypting and authenticating data, protection against insecure network. It's a complex framework consisting in many settings, which is why it provides a powerful and flexible set of security features. For the second implementation is the project structure. I'm going to talk about setup visual private network tools and a few configuration devices that can remote access to the local network. For the next one is about the project configuration. As you can see in this picture, we're going to the control panel, click on the VPN connection to the properties, and then I will show a whole process of this project in the demonstration. Next part, we need to make sure that the DNS server is here, and then we can go to the part, the point channeling protocol, and click it, at least make it maximum string encryption protocol. And furthermore, we go into the Internet Protocol version 4 layer, and then we can check the property. After clicking the property, we go into general. We need to make sure that it's using alternate IP address automatically. And after that, we need to obtain the DNS server automatically also. For this part, we don't need to use default gateway on remote network because we need to use another gateway remote network by VPN. So for the last step, we can connect to the VPN. For the configuration using secure socket layer virtual private network, I'm using a 40 client VPN. So after we download the 40 client VPN, we can go into the configuration and we can access to the remote gateway, and we can rename about the VPN name, and also use a port, the custom port as you can see in this picture. We're going into authenticate part. We can type the user and the password to make sure it's from a connection the same to another party of the connection. And after that, we click connect. So we're using the IP address different, and then it's how the VPN work. Configuration by using IP security virtual private network. So we can go type the same thing, like rename about the IP security VPN, and after that we get to type a remote gateway and the pre-share key by using the pre-share key. So after we connect it, we can type and go to the authentication part. After the fully complete about the authentication, so we can connect to the VPN and using the different IP address of your computer. So the VPN by using IP security work. On the other hand, we go into the part 5 of the whole presentation, is conclusion. I'm going to talk about result, difficulty, and experiences. The result, after have been working for 2 months on this project, I can install the virtual private network tool. We do the configuration on the device. I can remote access to the local network. We can access with the virtual private network connection, and all the information will be hide and private. And we also can like discuss the price of using some technology in this process. We can get the provide network scalability, the secure public Wi-Fi connection to prevent the internet service provider tracking, avoid the censorship, and it's also easy for working from any distance. In also keep a good connection for the overseas business side. My 2 months internship, I have the difficulties as below because it has a use plenty of time to do research, and it's so complicated. It has the limit for me to do research, and it's also still take risk from the attacker. We need to launch a VPN service. We also need to try to learn new things and deal with the real problem at the workplace. I get a few experience by doing the internship below us and learn new things. I can support the user with the real problem. It's very challenging for me then to do the troubleshooting or into the course gear with a new environment to do solving problem and do researching. For the last part of this presentation, I'm going to do a demonstration. Please enjoy the demonstration. So I'm using the real product on this project. And then if you don't have the 40 client VPN, you can go and download if you already have. Just click like this, and then we go to the configure VPN. At first, I need to do on SSL VPN, so I need to write down the connection name. I'm going through this name, for example, and then I need to write it down the remote gateway that I want to access to. So I'm going to write down the example remote gateway. Directly into my size, and then we get the customize part. I'm going to the part 10443. So done. After that, we go into the authentication step, and then do the same thing. If we want to know about who is connect into, we need to write down the authentication as you can see it. So I repeat for this step and write it down. After that, waiting for a few minutes, so waiting until the VPN connect into the network. So after that, we're waiting a little bit more because my connection is so slow. Yeah, so this one, it shows that the new IP address that I've been using right now with the VPN. So I'm going to show you with another VPN is about the IP security VPN. So we can add a new connection, and I'm going to use IP security VPN, and then I can write the name as IP sec VPN. I do the same thing with the gateway address into this. And for this part, we're not going to use the part, we're going to use the preset key. So I have the preset key, for example, and then I can save it. So we do the same thing to the authentication step. For one, and the password. So it's done. So until it connected, you can use a VPN, So this is the new address I've been using. So I can access to any file of this VPN that has been uploaded on the internet, and I've been using for the security of my network connection. After watching the demonstration of the whole project, if you have any question, please free to ask and don't be hesitate to ask any question. Thank you so much for spending your time to watch my whole presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Okay, I will start a question again. So the first question would be, are all these, configuration and implementation, you did all of them on your machine, or do you have to configure something on the real server, or what device that you use in your network and in configuration?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. As my 2 months internship for all the configuration, like I only to set up the VPN tools for the client because all the client need to like the network secure. So for like have the real product already set up. So I just like know how to set it up for the client to be using it because we already pay all money to buy the whole product. So for the configuration inside the VPN because the product is already set up. So I just to check it and then do configuration a little bit on it, like between like because the computer have been using at the company is has like I can say it, yeah, their own privacy of the computer. So I just to set up have like authentication like user create user and then the password already given by the company that we've been using VPN.
Okay, I see. So all the configuration on the VPN server are already done. Okay.
Yes.
And so where is the 40? What is the 40 clan?
Yeah, yes, teacher. We use actually in the company we use two VPN like because we have a very big corporation, so we use multi-client VPN and the scalar VPN. It has all these both VPN has a different like specific to for the dimension of the client or something.
Okay. So okay, so I don't see. So the IP address that you get here is so you know the gateway IP address from the server.
Yes,
so
teacher.
This is configured beforehand, so you just know the gateway IP and then you can remote.
Yes, teacher, because I'm using the real product, so the gateway I need to like request from the company to get it to remote it into the network of the one of the employee has been using. So I need it because if I don't have the remote gateway, so I cannot access to the VPN, and I also cannot connect on the internet freely or something, teacher. Because actually this was a policy of the company, and I also have my limitation of doing it because even like visual architecture or something, I cannot get it because it's the privacy of the company is to make it secure. If I show everything to about this process is much to have a company policy. I can say that.
Okay, I see. Are there some kind of other functionality that you will continue to implement at your internship besides VPN? Hello, can you hear me?
Teacher, I didn't get your question. Can you ask me
Okay,
again?
I want to know what else will you do in your internship, or this is the end of your internship, or will you continue to work on some other kind of configuration or implementation in the company that you work?
I think for this, I'm going to to check with it, but I really want to get another things to do on the company if they allow me to research about it, and then yeah, I want to get another because it's such a small part of the company that I can do all my presentation today. But if they can allow me to study and research of their company technology or something, I will continue to do it. But I'm still not sure yet about the project title or everything that I'm going to work on this company, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Okay, I think I don't have more questions. If other lecturer have any question, please ask.
Actually, I don't have any question, but because you try to in your company, you try to buy a product and just configure how to use it. And can you tell me, before you go to the company, they already use the 40 client VPN, or you just when you go and then you recommend them to use this VPN?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. Actually, the 40 client VPN and the Zscaler VPN is already have been using. Yeah, because since the company made up the branch in Cambodia, because we have a side-to-side VPN because we need to work together with other country for the cooperation in Cambodia, like France and Singapore. So the companies this already have been used this technology since I'm not working there, and yeah, they just they think about it and then they use the VPN that properly to use to the company, and it's to make it easy for the two parties of the company party. So yeah, it's already has been used, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. I want to ask you. For you, do you really like working with this technology, like using VPN? Why you don't want to work on something like you want to design your own network or something like that?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. Because for this short-term internship only for 2 months, I think I'm not be able to create something for the company that already set up or already decided technology for them to use already. So I think it's have the time. Yeah, I don't have plenty of time on working on to set up something by myself, because we have a big server machine or something that already set up. This is the company. So I just follow and then just try to support the user when we face the problem. Because yeah, the company has their own policy, and I cannot be able to to set up something or to create something new for the company, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, but during your internship, I think, if possible, you can discuss with your manager, and maybe you can try to know something else like the existing network, and you can use it for our project. It could be useful. But for this, it's good for you to know what the VPN and you know how to configure it. But it will be better if you know more than that.
Thank you so
I
much.
think another thing is you maybe it's my idea is when you go to another company or something, you have to be ready for something else that might be more complicated than this. And maybe you have to learn a lot besides this configuration.
Thank you so much, teacher.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for your time.
Okay, maybe I want to ask one more. Did you try to learn how to configure the VPN connection on the server yourself, or just check the existing configuration?
Thank you, teacher, for the question. Actually, I just been configure like the application that has been existing already, because yeah, company its own, it has the part that they like they launch this functionality for people to working on it already. So they have like the people that they already manage on the whole process of this configuration already, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, maybe some common. Maybe you should try set up a virtual environment. You know, just one server machine, and then install this software, whether it is crack or free version or trial version, and then try do your own configuration. Okay, so maybe you can learn more than just working with the existing configuration.
So much, teacher.
Okay, this is the end of my question.
Right. So thank you, Lika, for your presentation. Yeah, I think you have done also a good job. Even though your task is not that big, but I really appreciate that you are a woman and you can go out and get the internship at a company by yourself and try to do all this stuff. Yeah, even though there's a limitation of the company policy, but you can still taste and do the demonstration about your job. I think, yeah, that is great. That's good. Okay, so thank you. So this is right, and should we have a break, or should we just continue to the next presenter? I think time is a little bit over the limits.
Yeah.
I think if possible, we can just continue, right? On only on only 2 more presenter for this morning.
Okay, next presenter is Lee Ho. Okay, let me find your video.
Hello everyone, I'm Wood, and today it is my honor to be here and do the presentation about my E4 internship project, which is website e-commerce website. So let's get started. In today's topic, I divide the content into 5 main parts. First, I will talk about the introduction of the project, then the analysis and conception. Thirdly, I will talk about implementation, conclusion, And last but not least, I will show the demonstration of the project. Okay, let's start with the introduction. First point, I would like to talk about company overview. In my last vacation, I was doing my internship at Sniffing company. They are an IT solution company that formed since 2017, and they specialize in consultant and provides customized software development for their customer, like web application and mobile application. And here is their basic information, include their address, their contact number, and their email address. Moving on, I would like to talk about project overview. We will start with problematic and objective. First of all, nowadays we're living in the pandemic. It stops people from going outside and buying things on the physical store. So more and more people start to buy things online. However, we see that most online shops are selling their product on platforms like Facebook or Instagram. And those platforms are not more specific. So it's hard for the seller to find the customer, and customer have to find the product that they want to. And we also notice that there are many e-commerce websites in the market, but most of them are not really user-friendly. So some old people will have to use the website. So the objective of this project is to build a e-commerce website with a easy and simple user interface that every user can use it easily without spending a lot of time learning to use it. And also we need to build an admin dashboard that help us to control and make our website. Now let's us take a look at the requirement of the project. In this project, I work with my friend. So we divide the task into two main part, front end and back end. And for the front end, I need to build a user interface for three types of user: guest, customer, and seller. And they can perform multiple tasks like searching product and with sort and filter function. They can view the home page, they can view the product detail page, they can write comment and review the product, they can create their own shop and upload their product and receive the order. And for the back end, I need to build an admin dashboard that have user role and permission, and it can manage multiple things related to the website. And here is the data division of the project. Actually, the company doesn't really give us the requirement, so we need to look at some example website online, and then we try to analyze and design the project by ourselves. So I'm the one that design the workflow and business logic of the process of the project, and also I'm the one that creating user interface for three type of customer. And after we finish the project, I'm also the one that deploying the project to the server. And for my friend Panat, he responsible for creating the database, admin dashboard, and API, so that I can connect and get data from the database. And for designing the database, me and Panat working together. I designed the database that related to the front end, and my friend Panat, he designed the database for admin dashboard. But I didn't actually code it. I just tell him what object I need, and inside the object what the data type I need. And my friend Panat, he code and create the database all on his own. And now we have reached the last point of the introduction. And at this point, we talk about the timetable. During this internship, I spent around 11 weeks working on the project. And the first week, I need to learn Laravel and PHP because in this project, the company requires us to do the Laravel software. And after that, I start to analyze the project and coding along with it. And I finished the project at around 6 weeks because a lot of the time we're working overtime, trying to make the task done. And then we spend another 1 week deploying the project into the server. And then we cooperate with the testing team, and they help us testing and debug the project on the server. And during the time we are free, so company provide the opportunity for us to do the API in the project, and I complete the API for 3 projects, 1 project in a week. And it is a very fun and interesting opportunity because I can work on front end and as well as developing API. Continue to the second point of the presentation, I would like to show you my analysis and conception. First, we talk about user use case diagram. When the user first visit our website, they have this, so they can only view some part our website, like homepage, product detail page, recommend review. They can use shop homepage, search product with sort and filter function, link product by category. But if they want to do more than that, they need to register to become a customer. And customer can do everything that the guests can, but they have more function, like they can place order, they can make their user information, they can add and remove product from their shopping cart, they can place order and make the order, they can also create shop to become a seller. And when they become a seller, they can do everything that guests and customer can. And with a seller function also, like they can make their shop information, they can receive the order, they can create and update their product. And to verify that they are customer or seller, they need to log in to check their user role and permission. In this one, I would like to talk about activity diagram about selected product from the cart. I won't talk too much in detail. I will show you in demonstration later. First of all, we will check if the user is logged in or not, and then we will check if the cart is empty. And if the cart is not empty, we will list all the product, and then we will wait for the user to select the product into the product list. And if the user not selecting any product, the checkout button will disable. And after user select some product, we will calculate the price of the product they select in real time. And then the button will be enabled, and user can click checkout. But we won't redirect to the checkout page. We will check if all the product is free or not. If some product is free and some product is not, we will need to check them. So we will confirm with user, and if user say yes, we will continue to the checkout. And if all the product is free or all product is not free, we doesn't need to pop the warning sign. Now I will show you the architecture of this project. And today I only talk about the logical architecture, mainly focus about how I connect my Vue.js to the Laravel API. First, when the user wants to visit our website, they will send HTTP request to our Vue router, and the Vue router will link to the Vue model. That Vue model contains HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if the Vue model needs some data from the database, we will need to use the middleware called Axios from Node.js library. Axios will send HTTPS request to the Laravel, and Laravel router as our API will go to the controller and then go to the model of the data that we want, and the model will send the query to our actual database. And when the database find the data set that we want, we will send back to the model, and our API will send the data in the form of JSON back to the Axios, and then we can read the data from Axios and respond it back to our user. And now we have arrived at the third part of our presentation, which is implementation. First of all, I would like to talk about the choice of technology. In this project, we use Laravel framework version 7 as the requirement of the from the company to build our backend API and connect our database. And for to build the user interface, I use Vue.js because I have a lot of experience with Vue.js, and it's easy to use. And to help me build a beautiful user interface, I have the support from Bootstrap framework and from my actual as my database. And to bundle Vue.js and Laravel together, I use Webpack. And also I use some other tool like PHPMyAdmin to view my database and also control and manage the database. And when we receive the API from my frame panel, I need to test it to understand it. So I use and the version control, and to manage the project, I use GitHub Desktop, and the IDE I use Visual Studio Code because it has a lot of good extension to build a lot project, and also to track our work and to manage our work. The company use Trello. And now in the second point of the implementation, I would like to show you one of my flowchart, which is related to listing the product. First, we will check if the user is seller or not. If user is not a seller, we need to let user go create a shop and the process will stop. And if the user is a seller, then we start to flick the data of the shop of that seller. And when we get that data, we will pass the data into our Vue model. And when we pass the data, we will check that if the data that passing is empty or not. If the data is empty, then it means that there is no order. So we will show a window saying that there is no order. And if we have that, we will display the data so that the user can make order and the process will end. Now I would like to talk about checkout. First, user need to select some product into the product list. They can select it from the shopping cart, or they can click on buy this product in the product detail page. So the product list must not be empty. If the product list is empty, means that user just type in the URL without actually select any product. So we will show the error message. And if the product list is not empty, we will list the product down. And user need to input their information like address and phone number. And also, if we have the default data, we will show that. But user have the option to change the default data. And also, after that, user need to choose the delivery method, and we will calculate the product price and the delivery price. And then if user confirm checkout, the process will end. And now we are in the conclusion point. As you can see, I have completed all the tasks that the company have assigned. And I also spending my last 2 weeks developing API for other projects. And let's talk about the difficulty and experience. The first difficulty is working with team. When you're working with team, you have to match code with other people, and sometimes you need to get data from other people, like get data from API. And when doing that, sometimes other people mistake might cause your error if you don't check it properly. And also another part is that when working with team, sometimes we have lack of communication or understanding. So we need to spend a lot of time trying to understand each other. And by doing that, I learned a lot of soft skills like leadership, like communication skill, understand other people feeling, and so on. And another difficulty is that I need to use new tool, like I need to use version control, and I also need to use Laravel 7, which is I never used before, and I need to bundle Laravel with Vue.js. So I need to do a lot of research and learning. And by doing that, I learned a lot of hard skills too. And last but not least, we talk about the perspective. Although I have complete all the tasks of the website is useful, but if the company wants to implement more feature in the future, I would like to integrate chat room so that the customer and seller can communication better. And I also want to working with third-party delivery company so that we have more delivery option. And also maybe we can integrate with online payment and also implement AI to recommend product to our user and so on. Okay, now move on to the last part of our presentation, which is demonstration. This is my homepage, and I log in as a seller, so you can see my shop button here. If I log in as a customer, you won't see this button. And I would like to show you how to order product. First, when you get into the product detail page, you will see product and comment and review. This product has no comment and review yet, and I used to buy this product, so I have the right to review it. As you can see, now I'm review the product and I comment on it. And now to buy product, we have two options. First, we can click on buy, and it will redirect us to the checkout page. I don't want. I want to add the product into my cart list first. And now I go into my cart list. I can select all the product. And if I click continue, the one inside will pop up. Why? Because one product is free delivery and one is not free delivery. So they will need to charge my delivery fee. And I don't want they charge my delivery fee. So I only select the free delivery product. And then I go to checkout. Here I have some information. Because I have set my default information, so it pop up here. I can also edit the information by the one. And now I choose the delivery method. As you can see, because the product is free delivery, so the delivery they charge my delivery fee. And after placing the order, I can go to my account to check about my order. We can see that the order is on pending state, and because I'm the owner of the shop, so I can make the order, so I can accept the order. And after I accept the order, I can change state to delivery and also order complete. And my customer, he will see the same as me. And as shop owner, I can also create my product. First, I click on create the product. Example, I create an airport. As you can see now, I create my report successfully. If we go to home page, then we have slash product, we'll see my report that I created. And also we can search the product. For example, I search A, and we can see here is the product, the searching result. We can search it by the number of sales. We can search it by the price up and down. We have a lot of sort and filter function here, and we can search about the rating. And that's it for my demonstration. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and we try to answer as much as possible. Hello, everyone.
All right, so Lihut, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, I see you have done really great job in your internship. Okay, but before I start the question, let me have one or two comment, please, before I start. The first comment is that when you start your video presentation, immediately you just skip the front page. You just skip the cover, and I can't even catch up who is your academic supervisor, who is your company guy, when did you start your internship, from when to when. Yeah, you just simply skip the first page. So yeah, so if next time, I think you should mention, or at least spend around or at least spend around 30 seconds in order to explain about this part as well. Okay, just a comment.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that in your application, sorry, you also mentioned that the existing e-commerce website or apps that's not really user friendly, and so what is your special feature about your website e-commerce that distinguish or better than the others?
Normally, e-commerce website, there are two types. One type is that they have a shop and they just want to put their product as an online shop. And for our website, we can put our product to sell, and we also allow other user to become a seller. And we plan in the future that maybe when user want to become a seller, we will charge a small amount of money, so that that one website may allow a lot of shop to sell on that website altogether. And also a lot of website they doesn't have the specific delivery method or chat room. And our company, my supervisor, they have built the chat room and delivery app before, so they plan to integrate it in the future. We can have more function and more feature. That's it for my answer. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah, so yes, I think that's great. But by the way, you have around almost 3 months to do this, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, with the 3 months and all this feature, I think that is good enough. Okay. By the way, I have also a little more comment. Can you move to the slide complete task, please? Maybe at a minute of 14, I think. Minute of 12, I think. Complete task. No, around 12, I think. Just before that. I just want to have comment about the slide complete task. I think the complete task part is very important, so that we can so that we can evaluate your the task that you have done. But actually, in the presentation, you just simply skip that slide and go directly to talk about the experience or about the difficulty. Yeah, complete task. Let me just skip this one and go to next slide immediately. So just a comment that you should. This one is very important. We can evaluate your scope of works, your performance according to this part. So next time, if possible, please explain this part also clearly, right?
Thank for your advice, teacher.
Okay, so thank you, and that is enough for me. Other lecturer, have you any question? You may go.
Okay, I have some question. And thank you for your presentation. Actually, because I want to know this website is built for a specific shop or owner.
Can you ask again, teacher? It's not really clear.
Okay, I want to ask that your website is built for a specific shop, or it is built for a big community for the e-commerce website.
The website is for a big community. We can become from customer to seller. We doesn't build it for a specific shop, teacher.
Like the teacher Wendy already asked you if I want to know again. I cannot find any special thing if we compare your website to the existing e-commerce website. You can see there are so many e-commerce website in our country, but most of them fail. What are the strong points that you can compete with the existing website?
The reason that most e-commerce shop are fail in Cambodia, I think it related to two main part. First of all, they doesn't have like how to track their product. They doesn't have the logistic to track the state of the product. And for my website, we have the shop dashboard that can track the order. We can change the state of the order, and if in the future we can even like when the product is delivery, we can show those delivery state, or maybe show it in a map if possible. And also another point that I think e-commerce website is not famous because uh, it's lack of marketing, because lot of the time they be a website, but most of the people doesn't know about the website. So to make it successful, they need to do it like uh, the other food delivery app that they have a lot of marketing team. They have some app in the Facebook, and they do a lot of promotion, so that the e-commerce website will work, for my opinion.
Okay, but actually those existing websites, they already have those features, if I know, but maybe you can go and check. But for your website, it's okay that you can build it, but before we build it, because we spend a lot of time, make sure that our product will be valuable for the society. How, I just want to know, how do you manage your payment? Maybe you said like the user can become the seller, something like that. And how do you manage the payment when what kind of payment method API do you use?
As I talked in the perspective, we plan to integrate a third-party API about online payment in future. But I noticed that most of the e-commerce website or most of the other website, when it comes to a payment, they will just need to upload the photo of the payment. Like they can transfer it via ABA or other bank, and then they can screenshot those transaction or the photo and upload it. And in our website, we do this approach too. When user pay money or something, we can upload the image of that transaction, or they can just contact the shop seller, and they can send those information with the shop seller.
That in your system now, you don't have any payment method, right?
Yeah, we this then integrate with like bank or any like Mastercard or Visa card, because if you want to do those things, you need to have a license to prove that you are a real business, and you need to pay send you spend some fee and um, have some contract with them in order to implement third party payment. And our project for this company, we just build a small project for 3 months, so we doesn't have those kind of feature.
I don't think so. In the third-party library, I don't remember. Maybe I used to know some. You can register with them, and they will provide you for the testing service. Like they will give you $50 that you can use it for your testing, and you just follow the API instruction, and you can do that. Actually, you don't need to pay for that. You have to pay nothing. But that is my idea, that you can go and try some those API. Actually, they have the trial or the testing service for you. You don't need to pay. And okay, let move to the technical part. You in your PPT, in your slide, you said like you involved with the database design, but I cannot see any database inside your slide.
For the database design, my teammate Panat, he will talk after me. He will show about the design. And also, as I told you, I didn't actually code on that. I just told my friend about what object I need, and inside the object, what data type I need. It's like what table I need, and inside that table, what column I need. So
Yeah,
I
but
doesn't
you didn't
design
implement
the
it, but
whole
in the
page.
last in the table, in the last row, design database, and you said you 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 do it with the panel. I think it's my idea. It's good if you can display your database design, because you did it together. Another thing, your backend, you use a Laravel, and the front end. Why you don't use the front end and the back end together inside the same project Laravel, and why you decide to use Vue.js?
As I talk in the choice of technology, I choose Vue.js because I have more experience on JavaScript, and also Vue.js have provide a lot of good feature like hard plugin. You can just implement Vue.js on some page or some part of the page. So like my friend, he built admin dashboard using PHP. It is so hard to build a dashboard from scratch without any help of the UI framework. So I use Vue.js. It have a lot with client-side rendering, and I can make my website more dynamic. Like in some page, like user dashboard, I have 4 feature. I can change and refresh my page without actually reload the page. I can just hide some model and show some model, but I cannot do that in PHP. When I need to hide some part of the page and want to show it later, it might need to refresh, and it take a lot of time to make the website dynamic.
Okay, I think I don't have a lot of time, but I wonder that your another main task is about the deployment, but in your slide I cannot see any specific information about the deployment, where you deploy your website and how do you deploy it. That is important, but I cannot
understand
find
it,
it.
teacher. I actually record that part too. But the video is kind of over time, so I delete that part.
Yeah, but it's your also your main work. It's okay. That I have more questions, but I think I don't have time. Anyway, your work is good, and thank you for your answer.
All right. So just one last question. Okay. And which one among you who designed the workflow of your project?
The workflow of the project is actually divided to two, because I do user interface for front end, and my friend he do back end. He have admin dashboard, so he designed the workflow for his admin dashboard. But for the business logic or how the website work, how we place order, remake order, I design it because it in the front end.
Okay. And I don't really see the one feature called in Khmer we call cut stop. Did you do that or have not? Normally after the customer they buy the product should be decrease their amount, right? Is there any feature of that?
Yeah, teacher, when the order is complete, the quantity will reduce. And that state is finished in API because they connected to the database.
Okay, that's right. That's okay. All right. So thank you, Lihut, for your presentation. Okay, thank you. So let us move to the last presenter for this morning.
Hello, Chair. How about my presentation?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah.
Last presenter.
I'm finding your video. Okay.
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Hanat. Today I present about my different year 4 internship on topic after e-commerce website. My academy advisor, Mr. Bonjana, and my supervisor, Mrs. Hasriat. The content of the presentation: 1. Introduction. 2. Analysis and design. 3. Implementation. 4. Summary. And finally, we have demonstration.
Wait, there's something wrong with the file. Let me try sharing it again, because the file type is WMV, so quality is not good. Let me try playing it again.
Supervisor, Mrs. Hasriel. The content of the presentation: 1. Introduction. 2. Analysis and design. 3. Implementation. 4. Summary. And finally, we have demonstration. Introduction. An internship website solution at the head address at Kantuko, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. My working time from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Duration of my internship is 3 months from 21 July to 8 October 2021. My member in this project livelihood that his responsibility at front-end development. The project objective: easy way to selling and shopping product. It means we don't need to let customer to stand outside in line by line. Easy to use for every user, better UI and option. The planning of the project, from week 1 to week 3, we learn new technology such as Laravel framework, and week 1 to week 4, we analyze the requirement that my project nature give us, and week 3 to week 4, we analyze we design the database from the requirement. From week 3 to week 12, we're doing on implement project and testing project together. For week 10 to week 12, we start deploy our project to the real world website. Technology and language that we use in the project. First, framework, we use Laravel, Bootstrap. Language, we use PHP, HTML, CS, JavaScript. And hosting, we use VM server for hosting on local and direct admin for hosting on real time. Tool for our project, we use Visual Studio Code and Postman. And Postman we use for testing API. Analysis and design. The project, the requirement in this project, in admin panel, we have task user that have requirement: create user, update user, delete user. So user detect, delete all user, log in.
Cây mới đạnh thì
And what made it freeze? Let me open it with another player. The VLC doesn't work well. Okay, start from here.
Tool for our project, we use Visual Studio Code and Postman. And Postman we use for testing API. Analysis and design. The project, the requirement in the
Can you still see the video? I think it's
project.
yeah, we can see.
okay.
In admin panel, we have task user that have requirement: create user, update user, delete user. So user detect, leave all user login, and shop. We have create shop, update shop. We use shop detect, delete shop, leave all shop. And we have product. We can create product, update product. We use product detect, delete product, leave all product. And product order, we can leave product order and update order. And user row, we can add new row and update row. For the requirement of API, we have user. We doing on user, shop, product, and category. In this request, describe about administration management system. The staff can view dashboard, crop product, manage product order, and manager can control on the staff and can create category, cross shop, and for admin can control on manager and staff and manage the user, customer, and seller, and manage role and permission. All the tasks when accessed, we need to check the authentication. For entity relationship diagram, admin user can have one role, and each role can have one or many permission, and admin user can modify one or many shop, and for each shop can create one or many product, and each product can have only one category, and for seller can have only one shop, and customer can add shopping to cart, and customer can also place product order to the shop. The implementation, the software requirement in the project, we need to Linux, Ubuntu, Mac, Windows. For front end, we need HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript. Back end, we have Laravel, MySQL. For local hosting, WAM, SAM, LAM, and MAM. This is the diagram of login system, login to admin panel system. Then we start login, and if login successful, we check type is admin. If each type is admin, we redirect to dashboard. If not, we redirect to back to login. And then when user login successfully and want to access to manage shop, we need to check their permission before they access to the manager shop. For this one is activity diagram of create new user. First, we create new user and choose type of user. If user is admin, we select role, and if not, we sell the user as the customer or seller. For create new shop, first we create new shop and choose and create owner of shop, and then if successful, we sell the shop, and if not, we redirect back. The summary of my presentation. The result of project: product management is done, shop management done, and product order management in progress. We have to have some issues with order transition and search option. Category management done, user management done, login system done, and RESTful API. We have list, create, update, delete is done. The difficulty in internship, we have to manage timetable and plan. Difficult with authentication on website, difficult to remote and merge in GitHub, have low skill with underlying project, experience during internship, learn new framework, name Laravel, working environment with senior developer in company, learn how to work with teamwork, learn how to communication with client and project manager. For future work, we in the for the project, we will collab with other platform in company like app chat or an express the company will build and make more controller on user and solve while the product when user upload from front end. Demonstration. This is my admin dashboard that describe about record of user, shop, product, and this is the most selling product that we can track it when user sell or buy the most sell product. For shopping, we have a list of the shopping, and we can view the shop and product of shop and order of shop, and we can edit the shop by change or update, and we also have register shop. It means we can create shop. We can import first. We can import phone, password, and shop owner, name of shop owner, and shop name, address of shop, and category of shop that will be set in shop. And we have category. We can create brand. We can create brand, list brand, update, and delete the brand. We can also add category and edit category and delete category. For product, we have the all product, and we can search the product by their name or price, and we can also add product. We add product name in Khmer, name in English, code product, import price, export price, stop. And when we create product, we need to choose the shop owner of the product and choose the main category of product. And we also can select recommend of the product we will sell for the user, and we can create the product, and we can show the product that have pre-order product, inactive product, or out stock of product. So we can edit product also. For the user, we have list all the user and for the user, and we have list admin user and client user that is the customer or seller user. For admin user, we can register new user. We type full name, telephone, password, and email optional. But if we choose admin, we need to select the email. Like now we can create because we not fearful. But if we type email, we require admin to choose to type email and fill the user role. And we also update the user. We also update the user by edit and change their email or password. And for user admin, we can edit the role and permission of them. Can user role, we can choose or sell update the new role of them. And finally, we have product order that we can view now, and we can search it now, but we can list the order from the front end. For admin panel, that's all. And for API, I show you something on API. For API, we have API on user, product, and add product to cart or product review. So all category and create store and API on order delivery. Now, example on login as telephone. When we log in, we return some data with token. Thank you, teacher and everyone for joining my presentation.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, Annette.
Yes, teacher.
You work on the backend, also the front end for the admin dashboard, right?
Yes, sir.
I think you have done a lot of things, but I just want to know, can you go to the, if we go to the page 17, I don't know how you create a new shop. You start and then you create shop, and then you create the owner.
Yes. For
maybe.
Okay. For create shop, we create for user that he doesn't have shop before. So if they request or call to us to create new shop, so we create shop and with the credential of shop for login.
It
Clear?
means like if the seller or if the user wants to be the seller,
Yes.
they have to ask you, and you assign the permission. You create the shop for them, and you assign the permission to that user to become the seller.
Yes, sir.
But if you create the shop, it means you try to be a new record, and also you create the owner. It means you try to be a new owner. But I think for this one, you just link the user to the shop, right? In your logic.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Maybe because you already have the user, so you just link the user ID for the shop.
No, sir. We create a new one.
A new one. So
yes.
How about the old user?
For all user can create their own shop from the front end via API. So we don't need to choose.
But this one, you create a new user for them.
Yes.
Why do you decide to do it this way? Like you can just, because they already have the account, they already have the information. Why you decide to create another table or another information for them?
Okay, thank you, Cha. For this, first, I don't know the real flow of create shop in e-commerce. So I decide to create new shop with a new user. And then for I check again, and I check again with all the project that can choose. And so the next future, I think I will do on select user for when we create some.
Okay, my idea just you can check it again, but maybe I don't really know your requirement, but check it again on this part.
Yeah, sure.
And okay, because you're responsible for the APIs, I just want to know how do you implement the process of checking the permission for doing all tasks. Maybe the admin they have different permission, the user they have different permission. How do you control that?
For admin, we log in direct from the front end, not using API. So we check permission with the middleware, middleware when we enter the route. For API permission, we need to check the token of the API when we log in. We take the token, and when we want to add new product or create shop, we need a token and check it.
Okay. Actually, actually, for the front end, the client side, and the API must be the same. You have to provide the parameter, and you have to send to the same request like that. I think even you log in the admin from the front end, or from the testing API, it must be the same. But okay, tell me how you design your token.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, how do you design your token? What kind of information you store in the token? And actually, in order to create a token, there must be the session or the cookie. And how do you manage it? Because it has to be storing the information of the user.
Okay. We use information of user to generate the token.
How and what? Because in order to generate the token, there must be encryption method or something like that. Can you precisely describe the process that you build your application?
We use information of token and install with a package called subscan of Laravel packet of Laravel that provide us to can generate the token.
Okay, you use the Laravel API to do that, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay, but I recommend you try, maybe if you have time, you try to know, because sometimes when you do you build your API in another platform or another framework, you have to build it from scratch. So I recommend you to know the process and how you store your token and how they encrypt the token and what kind of information should be stored in the token.
Yes,
And another one, did you work on the email or phone number verification?
No, sure. We don't do it yet.
So anyone can register and they can put any information without verification.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
For
Okay,
on this one, I don't know technology. I don't know how to do it yet because I require the company to teach us, but they don't have time to teach us.
Yeah, anyway, it's very important for you to build the e-commerce website. There's many fake seller and many fake user, so it's very important for this part. And you can find any other third-party API that they provide you for free, like for the email verification. You can send the code to your email, and then you can confirm it free. But for the phone number, maybe you have to pay a little bit, but it's the same as the payment method. Maybe they will provide you the testing account or testing phone number. Maybe they can provide you like the virtual money, like $50 something for testing your application. That is my idea for your work. But anyway, you have done a lot, but there's a long way to go for you.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
I think that's all for me. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thanks for your presentation. I just want to have one small question. Can one user have multiple shop, and can one shop can be owned by multiple user?
One user have only one shop, but for admin can modify many shop.
So one user have only one shop.
Yes, teacher.
And can one shop be owned by multiple user?
I'm not clear the question.
Thì mình tha cho hàng muối nó ai mi mà cha chởn ban on.
Bán này lúc bán teacher.
Trong ok tại chẳng con.
Teacher Pisay, do you have any question?
I don't have any question. Okay.
And for me, I also have no more question too.
Okay, let me have one question. You work as a team. I want to know, did you really use a Git?
Yes, teacher.
And which server do you use?
GitHub.
You use GitHub.
Yes,
and how do you manage your Git brand?
We separate two in three brand. First, master brand, and second, Lihu brand and my brand. And when we push project together, we need to push to our brand, and then we merge our brand to the master brand.
Okay. When you want to push to your master, tell me the process again, in order to prevent the conflict.
Yes, teacher. When we finish one task, when we finish the one task, we push to the gate, and then we merge to master, and then
you push
for the
directly to the master. No. I think it's maybe in order to prevent the conflict, maybe your friend do something in the update, or they merge something into the master. But something that you have to do when you do something in your side, you have to pull first to make sure that you have something wrong or the conflict, and then you have to solve the conflict first before you push to your master. I think that is the general flow.
Yes, sir. We actually pull from the master.
You pull from the master.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, that's all for my question. And thank you, Guru. I hope that's all for me.
Okay, so thank you to all lecturer, and thank you to all the presenter for this morning. You guys just year 4, but you have done really great job for your internship program. Okay, and so please well prepare. In February, all of you are going to have another big internship. That one is the official one. That is the serious one. Which is not just about design a little bit back end or front end. It's just about serious or I can say that a full project. Okay, the full project. So well prepare, and good luck for your next internship. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Right, so we are going to end our morning session by now, and okay, and for those who are will doing presentation in the afternoon under the supervisor of Dr. Dara, please prepare. We are going to start at 1 p.m. Thank you and see you, everyone.
Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye bye.